Before you spend your money on adult toys, let me stop you right there. I've done the digging, checked the reviews, and researched the most trusted global online retailers so you don't have to risk getting scammed or buying unsafe products. Here on Electronics for Less, I make sure you get real value and safe options. In the next few seconds, I'm sharing 10 verified stores I personally recommend you check first. Let's start with one of the biggest names you'll see on every trusted list, and one I personally check first when I'm sourcing adult toys online. Lovehoney is a UK-born retailer that has grown into a global powerhouse in adult products. I've used their site a few times now, and what stands out immediately is the sheer variety, from vibrators and couples toys to lingerie, wellness items, and even gear for beginners and advanced users alike. They cover just about every category you can think of, and the way their products are organized makes it easy to browse, even if you're unsure what you're after. What I like most about Lovehoney is how focused they are on customer experience. Their product pages usually include detailed descriptions, size and material specs, and real customer reviews. That means when I'm considering a purchase, I can see what others experienced before I commit. Their discreet packaging and international shipping also make a big difference if you're buying sensitive products and want privacy, something a lot of reviewers praise consistently. But it's not perfect. One critique I see, and have run into myself, is that prices can be higher than smaller specialty shops, especially if there isn't a sale running. Some of the branded items they carry are premium priced, which can be a turn-off if you're shopping on a tight budget. Also, while the site layout is generally clear, the volume of options can feel overwhelming the first time you visit, especially if you just want something simple and don't want to sift through dozens of choices. Overall, in my experience, Lovehoney is a solid, reliable first stop for adult products, especially if you value a wide selection, trustworthy service, and lots of user feedback. Next up on my list is Adam & Eve, one of the most recognizable names in the adult retail world, and a site I've personally visited more than once when I'm shopping for toys or accessories. Adam & Eve offers a huge selection of products, from classic vibrators and couples toys to lingerie, fetish gear, and even intimate wellness items. What I notice right away when I'm browsing their site is how broad and straightforward the categories are. They make it pretty easy to find what you're looking for, whether you're a total beginner or you already know your preferences. One of the things I appreciate about this retailer is their long history and reputation. They've been around for decades, and that longevity shows in the quality of their customer service and their fulfillment process. Most folks, myself included, receive orders in discreet packaging with reliable shipping, which is huge when you're buying something personal. Plus, they frequently offer promotions and loyalty deals that actually make pricier items more affordable if you're patient. That said, there are a few critiques worth mentioning. Some shoppers, and I've seen it in a few reviews, feel that parts of the catalogue focus more on quantity than curation, meaning there are lots of products, but sometimes not enough detail to help you distinguish the good from the mediocre. I've also found that product descriptions can vary in depth, depending on the item. Some give great info, others leave you guessing a bit. Overall, Adam & Eve is a site I feel comfortable recommending because of its reliability, range, and privacy, but I always suggest comparing items and reading reviews before you buy to make sure you're getting what you actually want. Let's talk about Bellesa Boutique, another retailer I keep on my radar whenever I'm checking trustworthy online adult toy options. I first encountered Bellesa Boutique when I was looking for a retailer that didn't feel pushy or confusing, and honestly, that's one of the first things that stands out about them. They're a Canadian-based adult product retailer that leans heavily into education and empowerment in the way they present their catalogue. Instead of just listing products, Their site often includes guides, how-tos, and curated collections designed to help you understand what you're buying and why it might work for you. To me, that makes shopping feel much more intentional and less intimidating, especially if this is one of your first times exploring. When it comes to what they sell, Belsa Boutique has a wide range of toys, from vibrators and sleeves to accessories and lingerie. Their selection isn't the largest out there, but what they do have is pretty well curated, and I appreciate that they often spotlight products with good reviews or ones they genuinely believe in. One thing I personally like about their site is the modern, clean design and the way they make even the educational content feel respectful and approachable. Now, no retailer is perfect. One critique I've seen from other users, and one I've noticed too, is that pricing can sometimes be on the higher side compared with big mass-market adult toy shops. Part of that is because they focus on quality and a certain brand image, but it's something to be aware of if budget is a priority. Also, while the educational content is a big pro for many people, some folks browsing purely for product selection might feel like there's too much reading before getting to the actual shopping. Overall, for me, Belsa Boutique feels like a thoughtful, respectful, and trustworthy choice in the world of adult toy shopping, especially if you want guidance as well as products. I'd definitely recommend checking them out alongside the bigger stores to see which vibe suits you best. Let's move on to Pink Cherry, another retailer I've personally looked at when researching trusted online adult toy shops. What strikes me first about Pink Cherry is how wide and varied their catalogue is. They offer everything from classic vibrators and massagers to lingerie, accessories, and even party-style novelty items, all laid out in a way that's easy to browse. For me, that variety means I can often find something for different needs and budgets without having to jump between multiple sites. One thing I appreciate about Pink Cherry is how clear and user-friendly their website feels. Categories are easy to navigate, search filters actually work well, and product pages usually include clear pricing and shipping info. I also like that they often run discounts and deals, which can make pricier toys more affordable if you're buying your first item or trying out something new. Of course, it's not perfect. One critique I've seen, and something I've noticed myself, is that product descriptions and reviews can vary in quality. Some items have detailed specs and helpful customer feedback, while others feel a bit light on information, which can make choosing harder. A few shoppers also mention that international shipping can be slower or pricier compared with some competitors, depending on where you're located. Overall, for me, Pink Cherry stands out as a solid, well-established online store with a lot to offer, a big selection, easy navigation, and regular deals. If you're browsing multiple retailers, it's definitely one worth comparing alongside the others on this list. Let's move on to Pink Cherry, another retailer I've personally looked at when researching trusted online adult toy shops. What strikes me first about Pink Cherry is how wide and varied their catalogue is. They offer everything from classic vibrators and massagers to lingerie, accessories, and even party-style novelty items, all laid out in a way that's easy to browse. For me, that variety means I can often find something for different needs and budgets without having to jump between multiple sites. One thing I appreciate about Pink Cherry is how clear and user-friendly their website feels. Categories are easy to navigate, search filters actually work well, and product pages usually include clear pricing and shipping info. I also like that they often run discounts and deals, which can make pricier toys more affordable if you're buying your first item or trying out something new. Of course, it's not perfect. One critique I've seen, and something I've noticed myself, is that product descriptions and reviews can vary in quality. Some items have detailed specs and helpful customer feedback, while others feel a bit light on information, which can make choosing harder. A few shoppers also mention that international shipping can be slower or pricier compared with some competitors, depending on where you're located. Overall, for me, Pink Cherry stands out as a solid, well-established online store with a lot to offer: a big selection, easy navigation, and regular deals. If you're browsing multiple retailers, it's definitely one worth comparing alongside the others on this list. Let's talk about SheVibe, another retailer I personally include when I'm vetting trusted online adult toy shops. What caught my eye about SheVibe the first time I visited their site was how distinctive and thoughtful the whole experience feels. Unlike a lot of other big adult toy stores that focus mainly on huge catalogs, SheVibe has built a reputation, and in my experience, earned it, for being more curated, inclusive, and community-forward. They offer vibrators, couples toys, fetish gear, lingerie, and lifestyle accessories, but the way they present everything feels as like a generic catalogue and more like a boutique designed with real shoppers in mind. One of the things I personally appreciate about SheVibe is their ethical and body-positive approach. You'll notice that their descriptions are respectful, their sizing and product details are clear, and they don't rely on tone-deaf marketing to sell products. There's also plenty of authentic customer feedback and ratings, which I always check before I make a purchase, and on SheVibe, those reviews feel genuine and helpful rather than generic or spammy. That said, no retailer is without its criticisms. Some folks, and I've seen this in forums and review threads, mention that the selection isn't as massive as what you'd find on sites like Lovehoney or Pink Cherry. That's not inherently a bad thing. It often means fewer mediocre products. But if you're someone who likes as many choices as possible, it can feel a bit limited. I've also noticed that because the curation leans towards higher quality or specialty items, prices can trend higher than the big box stores, especially if you're working with a tighter budget. All things considered, for me, SheVibe earns a spot on this list because it blends a curated catalogue with respectful presentation and solid user feedback. If you value thoughtful product selection and a more inclusive shopping vibe, it's absolutely worth checking out. When I first came across Good Vibrations, what stood out to me was the mission behind the brand. Unlike some larger commercial sites, Good Vibrations started as a sex-positive community shop focused on education, inclusivity, and safety, and that ethos still shows in everything they do online. Their catalog offers a broad range of toys, from beginner-friendly vibrators and massagers to kink gear, books, and workshops designed to help people learn and explore safely. One of the biggest things I personally appreciate about Good Vibrations is how thoughtful their product descriptions and recommendations are. They don't just list specs, they talk about body-friendly materials, use cases, and comfort levels, which is huge when you're shopping for something new or unfamiliar. Plus, their site includes a lot of educational content, like guides on choosing toys, safety tips, and even sexual wellness resources, which makes it feel like you're being guided rather than just sold to. That said, there are a couple of critiques worth mentioning. Because Good Vibrations puts such a strong emphasis on quality and curation, you won't always find the largest selection compared with mass-market stores like Pink Cherry or Lovehoney. Some people who just want every possible toy in every category might feel a bit limited. Also, because many of their products are higher-end or boutique style, prices can be a bit steeper than sites that carry a bigger range of budget options. Still, in my experience, Good Vibrations stands out for its integrity and educational focus. If you care about learning as you shop and want trustworthy, well-explained products rather than just sheer volume, it's absolutely a site worth visiting. Next on the list is Peep Show Toys, a boutique online shop that I've personally found intriguing because of its curated approach to adult products. Unlike big box retailers, Peep Show Toys doesn't try to overwhelm you with thousands of options. Instead, they focus on quality over quantity, offering a selection of toys, accessories, and wellness items that have been carefully picked for reliability and user satisfaction. What I really like about Peep Show Toys is the attention to detail in their product presentation. Each item comes with clear descriptions, material information, and sometimes even tips on how to use it effectively, which makes shopping feel safe and informed, especially if you're new to exploring adult products. The boutique vibe also gives the site a more personal, intimate feel, which I think many shoppers appreciate compared to larger, more impersonal online stores. That said, there are a few downsides. One critique I've noticed is that their product selection is more limited, so if you're looking for a huge variety or the latest mainstream toys, you might not always find them here. Additionally, boutique pricing can sometimes be higher than mass-market alternatives, so it's worth keeping an eye on budget if you're shopping here. Overall, I see Peep Show Toys as a solid option for anyone who values curated quality and a boutique shopping experience. For me, it's a site I'd recommend checking alongside larger retailers, especially if you want something carefully selected and reliable rather than just a massive catalogue. Next up is Babland, a retailer I've personally found to be one of the most inclusive and education-focused shops out there. When I first explored their site, what really stood out to me was how they blend a strong product catalogue with learning resources, making it feel more like a guided experience than just a shopping trip. They sell a wide range of adult toys, from vibrators and couples gear to BDSM accessories, lingerie, and wellness products, all presented in a way that feels approachable for beginners while still appealing to experienced users. What I appreciate about Babland is their emphasis on education and inclusivity. Their product pages often include material information, tips on use, and guidance on choosing the right size or type of toy. They also highlight safety and body positivity, which is something I really value when recommending retailers to viewers. Plus, the site is easy to navigate, making browsing their selections straightforward and stress-free. That said, there are some critiques to be aware of. Because Babland focuses so much on quality and curated products, their selection isn't as massive as some of the larger global retailers. Some items can also be on the pricier side, reflecting the boutique-level care they put into sourcing and presenting products. But in my experience, the higher price is often justified by the quality, safety, and guidance they provide. Overall, I see Babland as a trustworthy, education-driven option, especially if you want to shop with confidence, learn as you go, and feel supported in making informed choices. It's definitely one I keep bookmarked whenever I'm looking for quality adult products. Finally, let's talk about Ann Summers, a UK-based retailer that I've personally found to have a unique mix of adult toys and lingerie, which sets it apart from many other online stores. When I first explored their site, what stood out to me was how stylish and approachable the presentation is. It doesn't feel intimidating, and the products are displayed in a way that balances fun, fashion, and intimacy. Ann Summers offers a wide variety of items, from vibrators and couples toys to lingerie, costumes, and bedroom accessories. I like that they blend fashion with function, so you can pick up something playful, sexy, or practical, all in one place. Their product pages are usually clear, with size guides, material info, and customer reviews, which I find really helpful when deciding what to buy. On the critique side, some shoppers, including myself occasionally, notice that prices can be higher than mass-market stores, especially for lingerie sets and premium toys. Shipping outside the UK can also be slower and sometimes a bit more expensive compared to other global retailers. Additionally, while the site is fun and stylish, the sheer variety of product types can be a little overwhelming at first glance if you're just after a single type of toy. Overall, I consider Ann Summers a solid final pick for this list because it offers a blend of quality, style, and trusted brand recognition. For anyone looking to explore both lingerie and adult toys in a single, reliable shop, it's definitely worth checking out. And that's my full list of 10 verified global adult toy retailers I personally trust and recommend. I've walked you through each one's strengths, what they sell, and the pros and cons you should know before buying. If you want to shop smart, stay safe, and avoid scams, checking these sites first is the way to go. Don't forget, all the links and details are available on this channel, Electronics for Less, so you can explore confidently and get real value every time.